Well, hello everybody. I'll just get that sorted out. And welcome to another quick and impromptu parlay. Yes, I hope you enjoyed all the first one and we're back on to the second one. I got a few other little things to socially chit chat about. One of them that's really sort of got my back up. A little bit of thing first. On the 1st of April in Scotland, it will be the new hate law coming in, which will actually make it illegal to say anything that is deemed or defined as hate crime, even though the actual definition of hate crime hasn't been actually defined. So basically, it means if you get upset. Now, most people will say, oh, well, it's not like that. It's this, that, and the other. And it's always this, it's always that. And, you're misinterpreting it. I'm really not. And this is what I'm going to be chatting about in this particular live stream. So let's get the article up, shall we? Scottish police, Polius Alba, have released this, and the SNP have run an advert. There's a video to go with this about the magical and evil hate monster. Yeah, there's a hate monster. This is the hate monster campaign with our very, very I mean, there's a recruitment event here, and we've got a very, very diverse group of police officers there. Of course, missing one particular ethnic group, but let's not worry about that, shall we? Shall we just carry on with this? So, this is the hate monster campaign. The fact it's extremely, insulting, but it's very important, and people need to listen to this because what starts in Scotland, especially when the Labour Party do get in here, and of course, when the Labour Party do get in here, this will be brought into force as well. So just because it's up in Scotland at the moment, don't think down here in England we're going to get away with it. And as for Wales with your new First Minister, well, yeah, we can discuss that either later on or in another little parlay. So, have you met the hate monster? The hate monster represents feelings of some people get when they are frustrated and angry and take it out on others because they feel like they need to show they are better than them. That's an interesting way of looking at it, or in other words, they commit a hate crime. That's right. So if you are angry at somebody because they've probably done something to make you angry, and you apparently you need to make yourself feel better than them, not the fact that you could be justifiably angry with a justifiable reason. No, you are committing a hate crime. The hate monster loves it when you get angry. He weighs you down until you end up targeting someone just because they look or act different to you. Or perhaps calling for the elimination of an entire race whilst walking through the streets of London. But of course, that doesn't count with the hate monster. The hate monster, as we'll find out in a minute, is only really being aimed one particular set of people that it actually lists here in this as we speak. Well, guys, when you're feeling insecure or angry, the hate monster feeds on that. Or when you feel like the fact that you're now being picked on and marginalized in your own country, the hate monster will feed off that. It doesn't matter whether it's actually justifiable anger. Oh, I'm stuck. Or anything else. The hate monster. Now get ready for this because it's quite a specific hate monster. It's very specific where hate can be. We know that young men aged 18 to 30 are most likely to commit hate crime, particularly for those from socially excluded communities who are influenced by their peers. Right, so if you're over 30 and you're a man, you can't get hate. You don't feel hate about anything, apparently, due to this. If you're a woman, any age, I hate the hate monster. Welcome, John, indeed. I'm an equal opportunities hater. Everyone is fair game. Norm, welcome. And yes, I 100% agree. So if you're a woman, you can't have hatred at all. I mean, the woman who screamed at Lee Anderson yesterday, or was it today? I can't remember. With like 45 minutes of tirade. She's not full of hate because it only applies to young men aged between 18 to 30. So I have no hate in my heart. Hello, Jeff. Nice of you to see you. Welcome aboard. So it's quite thin, and it's but then really get ready. They may have deep-rooted feelings of being socially and economically disadvantaged. Right now, so far so good. Yeah. So it's only men aged between 18 and 30 who feel that they're socially excluded from communities and heavily influenced by their peers. And they may have a feeling of socially and economically disadvantaged, combined with ideas about white male entitlement. So, if you are white and you're male and you're 18 to 30, apparently you come from a socially excluded community who's influenced by his peers, and that you are socially and economically disadvantaged. And we're not being racist in any way saying that. And we aren't, of course, committing a hate crime. So, as far as I can see with this, Scotland police have committed a hate crime and have allowed the hate monster to live in. This is racist. This is racial profiling. This is blaming white males between the age of 18 to 30 for all the wrongs in the world. Do you remember any white males between 18 and 30 committing any terrorist offences recently? Any? In fact, do you remember any 18 to 30-year-old white males doing anything wrong from a socially and economically disadvantaged society community, which is basically admitting that we now live as a minority? That's what they're saying in their words. That's how you can read it. That's what it says. Hurt people. Hurt people. Committing hate crime is strongly linked to a range of risk factors, including economic deprivation, adverse child experiences, substance abuse, and underemployment. Those who grow up in abusive environments can become addicted to conflict. What a sack of steaming dog shit. Because remember, it says that line there, but it only works between young men aged 18 to 30 who have white male entitlement. Not racist in the slightest, is it? Don't let the hate monster rule your life. If you've committed or feel at risk of about to committing a hate crime, remember, it doesn't make you feel better. Because, of course, you're struggling because you're white, male, in a socially and economically disadvantaged situation that is going to make you addicted to conflict. Maybe for a moment, but in the end, you feel worse. The hate lingers. It can really mess up your life in other ways too. Like when it comes to things like finding a job. A police record for a hate crime is not a good look for anyone, especially when we'll only pick on one particular demographic to do so. Go on, be good to yourself. Don't feed the hate monster like we have. Hello, Sheila. Welcome to the Parlay, where I am discussing the fact that Scotland, which will come here, have a hate monster campaign, and their hate monster campaign is pretty hateful, especially to white males. How long is before white males 18 to 30 get banned from voting? How long before there isn't any white males? This is just what they're saying here at the top is exactly what the rest of this article is actually doing. This article, if this was the other way around, if we put just playing devil's advocate here, if we put, and I'm going to read it as a devil's advocate, okay? We all know that young men aged 18 to 30 are most likely to commit hate crime, especially those from a black background, or especially those from an Asian background. You imagine the outrage there would be, and justifiably so, for that. Hiya, Biker Mike, you all right, mate? Imagine there'd be riots, there'd be street demonstrations if it was the other way around. But because it's white male, we're supposed to just sit here and pretend that it's all okay. and it isn't. Racism is supposed to work, or I mean, you can see. I mean, even the recruitment's racist because there's no white men in the races in the recruitment picture because we don't want that because apparently they're the ones who are going to commit all the crime, even though statistically, using actual basic statistics, that's an utter load of bullshit, and we all know it. And there's apparently a comedian who, into the new Scottish laws that come in at first, it's like Star Wars, don't turn to the dark side. Anakin Skywalker was white in 18 to 30. Look what happened to him. What a bastard. Well said, John. Well said. So don't also remember that the new laws come in force at 1st of April. So if a comedian like this guy says anything that offends anyone, they can report him to the police and he'll get done for a hate crime, which also applies to if you're in your house. So, for instance, as I'm sitting here now having this social chit chat with you, and we're having a little discussion, if in Scotland one of my children decides to take offence at what I've said, they can report me to the police, and the police will be duty bound to come and investigate and potentially arrest me and give me a criminal offence over hate crime because somebody in the house got offended by something that I said. Is this the world that we want to live in? Blokes 18 to 30 want to defend their native country from invading forces. The horror. But it'll be okay in other countries. Exactly. But the thing is, you want to know why there's a lack of recruitment in the armed forces now? Because white 18 to 30-year-old men are evil. And therefore, they're being treated like this. They're actually being told that they are the only people that seem to commit these crimes, hate crimes, and that no one likes them. So why would they go and put on their uniform and fight for their country? And it's no good asking any of these lot to go fight for their country because they don't see this as their country. Even now, there's been plenty of people on Twitter and that going through and asking questions. And they all go, where's your homeland? Oh, Pakistan, where's your homeland? Oh, it's India, where's your homeland? Jamaica. And they've been living here how long? 10 years, 15 years, 30 years? And they still see or don't see the UK as their homeland. This great kingdom that gave them somewhere to live and has looked after them and given them all the opportunities in the world, they don't like it. It's not their homeland. They don't. I know there's a difference between a homeland and a motherland. Okay? Motherland is where you come from. So there's nothing wrong with still loving your motherland. Yeah, so if I moved to Japan, for instance, and I was there for 20 years, my homeland would be Japan, but my motherland would always be England. And that's the way it works. But these people don't even see us as their homeland. They just don't want to be here. They have no way of recognizing it. And this is no offense. And I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, but I find this incredibly racist. This is basically, if we did this for any other race, there'd be an outroar. Young men, 18 to 30, that have white male entitlement. That's a racist comment. Pure and simple. But then again, you got Hamas useless in charge up there. And he likes to pander to all those of his friends who eat in the in Alan's snack bar. But this is, I don't understand how people can't get really upset and offended by this, because let's be honest, that's what the world's all about, being offended. But to say, if you feel like a hate crime, and then they basically say and tie it down to one demographic, one very age-specific, sex-specific, white male-specific situation. It's wrong. So wrong. And yet we're supposed to accept that. And the thing is, I know full well that when Labour get in, because let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen, Labour are going to get in the next election. They're going to do the same. They want to do the same as this. And when they get in, I shall be, I suppose, sitting here waiting for my arrest. Because my hate monster has been fully on display, apparently, on social media. Because I'm not towing the line. I just don't understand it. how anyone can turn around and go and put that out, that something that's blatantly racist and profiling is just unbelievable, even though the facts of crime itself show that not to be true. So 18 to 30-year-old white men might say a nasty word, and we'll arrest them for that. But traditionally and statistically, 18 to 30-year-old young men from different ethnic backgrounds are currently running around stabbing each other to death. But we won't worry about that. That isn't an issue. I'm just, I don't get it. This whole world has gone literally mental, absolutely batshit crazy. That a police force can actually put out something that its wording is blatantly racist and is tarnishing every single white male aged 18 to 30 as a hate crime merchant. That's the world we live in nowadays, ladies and gentlemen. That's the world we live in. It's just and the thing is, I can do this, I can rant and rave, and it'll be turned out that I'm the racist. Because I'm always the racist. I mean, I drink coffee, which is apparently all tied to white supremacy now. I mean, I go for a walk in the countryside that's openly racist. I just, I mean, literally at the moment, I am the spawn of the devil, apparently, because I am, no matter what I do, what I say, what I think, what I drink, what I eat, when I go for a walk, is racist. Doing videos like I've been doing makes me far right and a racist because, well, how dare I? How dare I argue against things and mention things that don't make any sense? I don't. It's not just me, is it? Genuinely, it's just not me, is it? I mean, surely, other people could see that this this isn't right. It just isn't right. It's upside down, inside out mentality all at once. It's Sheila, it's frightening, if not terrifying, that this is the way we're going. We're heading towards hell. I just and I don't know what the solution's gonna be. I just genuinely don't understand where this is gonna end up. Well, I do. I know where it's gonna end up. It's gonna end up in, in hell. It really is. It's oh, and then to top it all off, we now have this wonderful, uh, impression, which says a lot, and this also worries me. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you our leaders, because this guy is the new Welsh First Minister, of course, to great pomp and circumstance that he was the first black guy, and he's all for young children doing as they wish, and they can change genders and everything else. But I mean, if he hadn't won, the guy he came second to was would have been the first gay um, leader of Wales. London, Britain. I mean, old Rishi's gone. He'll be gone at the end of this, and then we'll just get Keir Starmer, who basically likes, well, yeah, licking these people's arses. He got Hamas useless. Sadiq can't. It's just, and I mean, this guy's a dictator in any case. I mean, and the best thing is, all these people are leaders. Now, we didn't get to vote for the Scottish guy. We didn't get to vote for the Welsh guy. In reality, we didn't get to vote for the British dude. There's a strong unwarranted guilt mentality, self-flagellation of perceived wrongs. Exactly, mate. Sadiq Khan's filled London with the people who vote for him. So we're stuck. I mean, even though this particular guy, who's his demographic of young males aged 18 to 30, as I've said, are currently running around stabbing each other to death. But you got me sighing now. Sorry, Sheila. At the moment, in reality, I do that a lot now because you just look at something, you just go, "Oh, really? Why?" So now this is the diversity, equity, and inclusion of Britain now, because this is so representative of the population of the United Kingdom, is it not? We really, really, really are in trouble, aren't we? They aren't leaders, they just happen to hold the reins. Well, absolutely 100% agree with you there, Mike. Genuinely 100%. It's just it's unbelievable. It really is. And the thing is, you see these things, and you see these news articles coming on, and you think, "Oh," and then you think, "Well, it can't get any worse." Then it fucking does. I mean, I've just been watching, the Culture Council, and they brought up something that actually said about, midwives doing courses now to because 'cause they've gotta be LGBTQ plus alphabet spaghetti compliant. Because of course you can't be a woman giving birth anymore, you're a birthing thing. The destruction of womanhood is outrageous in this world at the moment. The replacement of women by true misogynists, those men who put on dresses and pretend to be women, they're actually misogynists. I was trying to show a clip on the first parlay where, the lady was actually saying that the best swimmer is a man, a female swimmer is a man, the best track athlete, a female track athlete is a man, the best female cyclist is a man, the woman of the year last year was a man. It's just not right. You see, as much as we can joke and have that thing called banter before they outlaw it, men and women don't get along. But the simple truth of the matter is we need each other. And women are amazing things. And yes, high time profit, nice of you to come along. You know, women are great. Yes, they can be annoying, and we can. I hope Gobby Guy doesn't get to be replaced by Gobby Girl. Never going to happen. No, 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 no. That's something that's never going to happen. I can guarantee you that 100%. The thing is, women are amazing for what they can do. They are. They are. They are. And to now have men deliberately taking over women's spaces and women's things is just not right. It's evil. It's literally evil. I have no idea how we can correct the course of the ship. No one has the power in the right mind. How do we change the current course? That is the difficult thing. Because as I've mentioned before, the only way we can change the course is, for one, we've got to get rid of all those knobheads out of Parliament. And we need to replace them with people who have got brains and common sense, instead of only looking after their money. Like Mice from Mars, what a great TV show that was. Used to love that. Any case, diversion. The thing is, it can be corrected, but the problem is, for the corrections to be done, it requires difficult conversations and difficult, unpopular actions. And that's the problem. The ship has of course sunk. Not just yet. It can be saved, but the problem is, those people who are prepared to stand up and say, "This is what we need to do," are the ones that get cancelled. And the ones, I mean, in America now, they're trying to give Biden the power to close down news agencies that don't agree with him. They want to kill the speech. They want to get rid of people who are just talking common sense. This is why your Katie Hopkins, your Tommy Robinsons are all lied about and vilified and screamed about and turned into evil people, like your Lawrence Foxes, your father Calvin Robinson. But they tried to do it with Dan Wooten. Anyone who doesn't toe the line, they want you gone. Because the simple truth remains, it's an easy way, okay? The easy way to kind of solve the immigration issue at the moment. This is how I see it: is close the borders for 5 years. Biden and Hodgson sentenced together. Yeah, still in charge. He's also a child sniffer. So we close the borders for 5 years. We don't let anyone in. What we need to do, men and women are puzzle pieces that fit together and balance each other. The government and media make it the public forget that equal, but they give a very different specialities. Correct. There's been a concerted attack on the family unit to get rid of us. They don't want the family unit. First, we got rid of religion. Now we want to get rid of family. Now we want to get rid of identity. Now we want to get rid of language. Now we want to control this. Now we want to control that. That's the problem. But as I said, this is how I'd solve immigration. So I've shut the borders for 5 years. No one comes in unless they are specific requirements, a bit like the Australian system. Like they were going to bring in here, but chose not to. A point system. We then find all those people who should be here legally, and we deport them. You see, difficult questions, difficult conversations, difficult actions, unpopular actions. We can let people in if we need their skill set only in those cases. Yes, exactly. No problem with immigration for people we need. Once we found all those who shouldn't be here and we deport them, then we find out all those with criminal records and we deport them. And then we can do that in 1 year, and then the next 4 years, we stabilize the country, we sort it out. And the way we sort that is we don't send money to anyone else but ourselves. We put our own houses into order. We make sure that we're sorted before we go out and save the rest of the world. Song of Ethical Dystopia mentions destroying the family unit. This song came out 5 years ago. Yes, the family unit is under attack. God is under attack. It's as simple as that. But there's your immigration. And see, the problem is that is a hard thing for people to have to swallow. People are not going to like that. But that needs to be done. Solve the NHS issue by getting rid of a lot of that senior management, stop wasting money on electric ambulances and all this, that, and the other, and just get the people in there that we need to do the jobs, the doctors and the nurses, instead of having way too top-heavy things. The only people with skills that train up said, well, yes, exactly. Education, change the education system immeasurably, get rid of teachers who are teaching rubbish, find children who may not be academically awesome, but are brilliant at something else, and bring back apprenticeships, bring back skill trainings, get people back doing the jobs that we need, the skill sets we need, the things that we need. Don't write people off because they can't do maths and English, but they turn out to be absolutely brilliant at woodwork. Then you make them a carpenter. That's what you do. You look at people, you see what their actual skills are, and that is what you concentrate on. Stop putting people in boxes. And now not only are we putting people in boxes, and we're casting aside so many people, we're now trying to confuse them of who they are and what they are, and also teaching them to hate this country. I will bring back in British history as a primary thing. You will learn the history and culture of the nation that you live in. It's that simple. We can encourage education where we don't need education discounts, study to be a doctor. Exactly. Gender PhD. Well, yes. We need to have people here are needed. Yeah. So because like people say to me, "Oh, well, it's a solution." Yeah, I'm giving you some solutions. This is how I see it. Yeah. If you are from a foreign country and you should here and you commit a crime, you're gone. We don't have to pay for you. See, we spend far too much money looking after other people when our own people are suffering. And I don't understand. This is just common sense. Yeah, you look after your family first before you look after everybody else. So we should look after our country first and then everybody else. Instead of spending millions and billions of pounds in foreign countries that, let's be brutally honest, don't give a shit about us and wouldn't return the favour, let's keep our money to ourselves and let's look after ourselves, look after our country. Now, by just saying that, I'm a far right Nazi. See how it works? I wonder if the new war, they'll have to draft the over 50s. Well, it's a bit worrying. I've just got this feeling that's why the veteran pass cards started getting rolled out, so they know where we all are. We can save the country, but the problem is we're not going to be allowed to. And that's the frightening thing. The ticking boxes has to stop DI. People's lives are being ruined just so they can keep their lifestyles. Exactly. That would be abolished. If I was in charge, for instance, that'd be gone. No such thing as DEI. We didn't have DEI in the 80s and the early 90s, where, as I mentioned before, we were right on the cusp. Everybody just got along. We didn't have any major issues. People got along. Okay, I mean, don't get me wrong, there are, back then, when the word actually meant something, there were racists and they needed to be dealt with, and that's fine. Gobster gives us logical solutions, common sense. Unfortunately, the touchy-feely like one to be seen and not be nice, even if it's disastrous. Correct. That's why it won't change. Nothing will change if we are more worried. The country is finished. Yet, but no, it can be saved, but we need to have common sense rule. Yeah, we don't need a load of people who've just given themselves a pay rise, so they're on £91,600 a year, excluding expenses, who've now found out that they've got this money and therefore won't be calling a general election until later on in the year, not because the country needs a change, but they want to scum as much money out of us as possible before they lose their seats. That's what it's going to be about. It's that simple. This is what it's all about. Time to stop worrying about people's feelings and being offended and get back on to doing the damn job and solving the problems. I mean, somebody said, I give my opinion whether you like it or not. Yeah. Straight talking honesty is what we need nowadays, because that's gone. When you're looking at the Labour Party, who, when coming in, will make it illegal for doctors to refuse a child if they want to have a gender reassignment surgery. They'll make it illegal. That doctor will be arrested if they refuse. The evil of mutilating children, giving them puberty blockers, which are chemical castration tablets, and medically altering them just because they can, is wrong. Josef Mengele would be proud. Because we've learned nothing. Literally learned nothing from history. In fact, we have really, I suppose. What we've done is we've studied it and made it a lot more effective. And what we've learned is you have to get rid of the people who speak out first. Change language, make things acceptable, bring it in through the back door, and then by the time everybody realises what the hell's going on, it's too late and we're all screwed. Fortunately, the internet came along, which gives us the opportunity to say something, to do something. My US employer offers a 10% bonus for employing diverse groups, regardless of their ability to do the job. Not enforced in our UK office yet. It will be. It will be. It is in the movie industry and the entertainment industry right now. And I'm sure it is really in other companies. You can just look at you just look how big companies have been affected by DEI all over the place. You see, the thing is, I started off with the Scottish Monster thing, which is basically Scottish police being the biggest racist on possible. DVD of the Ghosts of Motley Hall is just why I don't need Doctor Who. Well, enjoy that, mate. Enjoy that. That'll be a good thing to watch. We just need to sort things out, and this is the problem. They won't listen. They don't want to have the conversations, even when The actual issue is staring them in the face and screaming at them that they want to kill them. All they do is hire them, gives themselves more money to hire security, and still blame people like me for all the problems in the country. Whereas I and many others who like me can actually solve all your problems if you would just sit down and fucking listen instead of demonizing us. Yeah, stop people voicing opinions, stop the wider public knowing how many agree with them. We are not alone. We just want to think we are. Of course. I mean, you can go right to the post office scandal. What did the post office kept telling all those postmasters? Mm, well, you see, you're the only one this has ever happened to. Because if they keep us isolated and not banding together, we can't do anything. And that's the thing, and I'd like just to be able to sit and, I'm 55 now. It would be nice just to be able to start winding down a bit, but I'm not. I'm energized because I have young children and I don't want to leave them the mess that this has already become. Walk down streets with closed down shops, homeless people everywhere, beggars everywhere, crime on the way up, barely any police anywhere. And if it is, it's a two-tier policing service, it's a two-tier justice service. When anyone who dares have common sense and speak out gets attacked, vilified, destroyed, when the police in Scotland say the people who cause the most hate crime are 18 to 30 young white males from a socially deprived background. And if they do it once, they'll turn into evil. When you're demonizing every male on the planet and then wonder why male suicide is through the roof. When feminism has got so far that men are vilified at every top turn and everything else, always believe women never do anything wrong. Oh, by the way, if you're not sure, even a man can become a woman and take your place off you. And somehow along all of this is okay. Is it? I mean, I was just looking today that apparently there's a thing where they might get rid of Rishi Sunak and install Penny Mordaunt. Well, that's fine, except Penny Mordaunt believes in all this gender bullshit. As I said, there's only one decent MP left in the House of Commons, and that's Andrew Bridgen. And look how he gets attacked and abused and ignored and even derided. Men are becoming women because men are vilified. Men are becoming women because they can, because they're mentally ill, and they are. Not all, don't get me wrong, not all, but all these activists, they're mentally ill. They can get away with it. Activists push things, get away with it. So they do it again and again and again and again and again. And then the second you push back, I mean, I was just discussing that, there's no such thing as transphobia. No, transphobia is like Islamophobia. They're words designed to silence criticism, to silence challenge, to silence actual, what the hell are you doing? That's what those words are created for. They could get rid of Rishi Sunak and replace him in the letterbox for all the good they are. Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, it doesn't matter. Whoever gets in charge, even if they do replace him, Conservatives have done a brilliant job at screwing themselves over. And they've started the job, and then when Labour get in, we're all finished. I am. There are solutions to all of these problems, but of course, they're not allowed to happen. Phobia is a fear of something. I don't fear a man in a dress. Correct. That's why it is. I mean, when I said it, I've said it before about Islamophobia. It was a made up word, and I got these really supposedly clever people going, "No, no, yeah, all words are made up, blah blah," because they don't want to listen. They don't want to argue with the actual point. The point being, it's a word created to silence criticism. Everything in this world deserves constructive criticism. Everything in this world deserves somebody to point a finger at them and go, "What the bleeding hell are you doing?" I'm 61 tomorrow, Paddy's Day. I don't remember being this the norm. We used to have true freedom. Well, happy birthday for tomorrow, Sheila. Uh, Great day for it, St. Paddy's Day. That's the one where here in Birmingham they have a big parade. Down, well, they used to have it down Digbeth, but they dug that up 3 years, 4 years, 5 years ago to put a tram in, and never done it. And it's a major, huge, and everybody celebrates St. Paddy's Day, and it's all great. St. George's Day comes along. Well, you can't do that because of all the racists. But happy birthday for tomorrow. I hope you have a wonderful day. The Mrs. Gobby's off tomorrow, so we're having a day of doing stuff and things. Gobby's in irrational fear. It's not irrational to these are terrorists coming. Exactly nothing. Have you seen the hate speech laws? They want horrifying. You can't speak against anything the current weak authorities want to usher in. Yeah, I was talking about that. In Scotland, it comes in 1st of April, where a conversation like I'm having right now in my house, in my own house, and one of my children decides that they're offended by something I said, in Scotland, they can report me to the police, and the police will come and investigate me. Yes, Lotus Eaters is a great place. Overview of the laws. So basically, I mean, the thing is, it's like you have to be careful. You're in comedy now because of what you say in Scotland because of the hate laws. That's going to make the Edinburgh Fringe Festival shit. Breaking news: Nigel Farage is set to return to Reform UK. Oh, that's interesting. Still controlled opposition, but if it's if he's going in, then that will that. Oh, yep. Here we go. I'm just going to share it. Here we go. I've got it. Thanks for letting me know, Jeff. I'm going to bring it up on here so we can see live on air. Breaking news, everybody. There you go. Follow the very latest political news. This could be a catastrophic move. The Tories' election chances for Farage plots the Sunak's demise. He will return. He's back. He's back. Searcher, welcome. The biggest phobia at the moment has been that of free speech. See, the thing is, a lot of people use free speech, to be fair. Awesome. I did a few tours in Northern Ireland, Sheila. Back in the Troubles. You see, free speech is used. Now, freedom of speech is the freedom to say what you wish, but it isn't really. Freedom of speech is the ability to say the truth and to defend the truth. And that is being, it's not freedom of speech that's been attacked. It's freedom to tell the truth. It's freedom to challenge the narrative. That's what's under attack. Because if you're of a certain persuasion, you are free to say and do whatever you wish. Yeah? But if you want to challenge that, if you want to criticize that, if you want to say something against that, that's what's under attack. It's not free speech as such. It is about silencing those who will challenge the narrative and have to criticize. That's what's under attack. Edinburgh Fringe has been shit for years. Agreed. Free speech does not exist. We have the illusion of free speech. Free speech exists if you say the right words. Baka wada wada is a word just made up. I haven't decided what it means yet. Well, cruel. You want to be careful, mate, because come 1st of April, you're going to have a bit of trouble up there, mate. Yeah, exactly. You could be arrested. From the 1st of April, technically, yes, you could. I could actually now decide in the 1st of April when your laws come in force up there, I could actually report you and get you arrested for a hate crime because I got offended by that made up word, whatever it means. Because it doesn't matter because I was offended by it. And that's the crux of the problem with offence. You can take offence at anything. But as we said, interesting that Nigel Farage is joining or rejoining Reform. So that'll be interesting. And that's what I was saying about a right-wing group of right-wing Conservative MPs believe Penny Mordaunt should lead the Tories into the next general election. Right-wing Tories want, yeah, but she's all, yeah, who are these right-wing Tories? Yeah, exactly. So politically, it's going to get interesting. I'm sharing all that. You don't need to see that. That's my Twitter page if anyone's interested in joining. Move to Scotland, guys. I don't want to go to Scotland. Due to Scotland. Well, actually, no. Technically, I'm not. I'm not in that bracket, am I? Give us that Mars bar and I'll take that word back. No, you may burn in hell for that. But this is what we need. This is we can't allow stuff like this to run. You can't criticise government endorsing anti-British ideology, apparently. Unfortunately, the powers that be do not understand what Britishness is. No, because they've spent the last 20, 30 years erasing it. They've been taking it away from us, removing it from us and telling us we're useless. Destroying our history, destroying who we are. And if we dare say anything, you're racist, you're Islamophobic, you're homophobic, you're transphobic, you're this, you're that, you're every ism. And then, of course, you're far right. You're a far right, misogynistic bigot who should go do everybody a favour and, take a long walk off a short pier kind of things, which is the stuff that you get all the time when you start to speak out. I have a Scottish grandfather. Can they arrest me? No, I think you have to actually live in Scotland, but it's an interesting one, isn't it? Because does that mean because Cruel is in Scotland, what he says on my stream in England, does that mean he's broken the law in Scotland, but he's okay here? Hello, Culture Pop. I think you should never have gotten this far. They've raised what it means to be British or, for me, American. It's quite tiresome. It is tiresome. And what they've done is they've successfully targeted and attacked anyone who dared have the stupid idea of actually standing up for the freedom of his country, the freedom of his flag. I mean, they made the Cross of St George racist back in the late 80s, early 90s, and the Union flag because, those nasty people, the BNP, and that was, they had the flag. Therefore, if you show that flag, you're racist. Go fuck yourselves. It's the flag of my country. You dare sort that? Yeah, the pier in Morecambe is really short. It is now. It's just beyond the joke, guys and girls. It's just, I don't get it. I really don't get it. If only I could get into power, I'd fix it. I know a lot of people who who would join me and fix it in the same way. I mean, the best way to solve initially the political issue of the House of Commons is not to pay them as well. Just pay them minimum wage instead of £91,500. In the future, we'll be like North Korea, where they lock up the whole family for doing what member has done. Indeed. You'll never guess what's racist. Everything. It's absolutely true. There's literally nothing. But then again, as I said, with the hate monster thing, I don't know if anyone saw it. I'll see if I can get the information back up. I probably can't now, but maybe I will. I'll have a look. See if I can get it back. I'm not sure if I can. I'm trying. Yeah, but I've got it. I've got it back. Almost like I know what I'm doing. Almost like I know what I'm doing. So in case you missed it, this is what we started off, and I'm also going to bring it down. You look good with that moustache I added. I think a silhouette was a bit much, though. It was a bit. The good thing is, all the Islamophobic misogynistic bigot words all lost their meaning. They used to cause fear and misery, may they soon be scorn and cause mockery and laughter. Correct. Yeah, imagine them being on minimum wage. They'd actually have to do something. So just as I'm going to bring this one to a close, I'm going to bring up what I started it up with, just in case anyone's joining us late and missed it. This is in Scotland. So, Corab, this is what your police think of you. You're very ethnic, diverse police with no white males in the recruitment picture, because God forbid we want to recruit any of them. This is your new thing. This is your hate monster. This is without doubt one of the most racist pieces of information I've ever seen written. How they've got away with it not being challenged. Well, yeah. Well, yeah. But no, because the hate monster has a specific group, very specifically tied group. And that group is, it's like living on the bizarro world from Superman comics where everything is backwards correct. So this is our hate monster. And a hate monster is caused by young men, 18 to 30. So if you're a man and you're over 30, you can't you can't do any of this. Sorry, searcher, I missed your comment. Another danger to be aware is possibly family members reported you for hate speech. Just well, this is exactly what it is. It is exactly like it was in Nazi Germany. That's the worry. They're so Scottish looking. Indeed. So yeah, so if you're over 30, you're right. You can't be affected by the hate monster apparently. Even if your hate monster's there because you're genuinely upset with it. It's like a 1920s TV sketch. It is. So young men aged 18 to 30, yeah, we commit, and of course, because of course, and we're not being racist in any way or sexist by only saying I'm over 50, I'm not a hate monster. No, nor me apparently, although I'll probably get arrested for it. So we're not being sexist, but it's only young men. So we're not being sexist, young men. Not being ageist, 18 to 30. It does look like a massive orange condom, I agree. So we're not being ageist, we're not being sexist, and we're definitely not being racist by saying it was only people with white male entitlement that are the ones who are going to commit the crime. Because no one else commits a hate crime. Because of course, remember when there was a walk down that bridge with all those wonderful free plasticine, Hamas loving, terrorist loving, mostly peaceful marchers were screaming stuff. The police with their single earpiece couldn't hear anything. And of course, it's all in context because jihad can mean many things. It doesn't. It means one thing. The hate monster is coming for them towards us. They judge you by their own standards. Exactly. So they actually say it's all about when you're frustrated and angry and you take it out on others because you feel like you need to show they're better than them. Says the police, who are saying that it's only young men 18 to 30 who've got white male entitlement that do this. Redskin, good job they weren't in America. I know. We'd have to be the Caucasians, the Washington Caucasians. I used to love the Redskins. I remember watching it when I was a young kid and when I used to enjoy playing American football as well when Joe Theismann snapped his leg with a tackle on Lawrence Taylor, of the New York Giants. And it was replayed 13 times at different angles with full sound effects. That really made me want to do it. Any case, I did a free plasticine poster. I know you did, Time Profit, and it was excellent. Our countries have basically put their metaphorical heads into the noose of the hangman. They passed these laws. Most people are blissfully ignorant of the conquest taking place. Scottish are pale blue. Nobody knows this. So, yeah. So, there you go. So, yeah, 47. You see, you're all right. As soon as you hit 31, you can't commit hate crime, apparently. You don't know what the hate monster is because hopefully by that time, they've brainwashed you enough or bummeled you into a submission or arrested you and put you in prison for it that you just don't want the hate monster anymore because it scares you. And we'll just all have to be compliant and wonderfully brilliant citizens, shan't we? Yes, like the good people that we are. We'll have to borrow your Dorian Gray picture, lol. Indeed. So there you go. So go on, be good to yourself. Don't you feed that hate monster if you're 18 to 30. If you're 31, I don't know what you're supposed to feed. Your hamster? I don't know. I'm not sure. Whatever you're supposed to do. Right then. I'm going to bring this parlay to a close. I'm going to, I don't have one. Thank you for everybody who's been in the chat again, as awesome always, and as awesome as you all are. Thank you so much. About 14, 15 of you. At one stage, almost 20 people watching. Awesome. It's not a huge amount, but I don't care because that means there's somewhere the message is getting out and people are listening to what I have to say. I'm English and enjoy an English cider. All my neighbours snitch on me for being bigoted. Yes. How dare you drink English cider? Don't drink English cider. Especially not if it's made by a young man who's 18 to 30. Under 30, it can be messing over your anger. Over 30, we know what's wrong and we rant about it. Point indeed. Well, if you're over 50, but if you're 50, but look, only look 30. Stop giving me questions that I can't answer. I don't know. But as long as if you're white, you got white male entitlement. Remember, it's very important that you have to. I I mean, what happens if I'm a white male, but I don't have any entitlement? What happens if I don't have any white male entitlement? If I'm 18 to 30 and I'm angry, but I don't have any white male entitlement, yeah, I always try and engage with the chat, mate. It's you like that make this, it's you like that make the show, and it's you like that make the channel. That's why I always try and interact as much as I can with the chat. Even though it can throw, I used to live in Hereford, where the best cider is. Indeed. Right then. Thank you, everybody. Much love to you, Culture Pop. Awesome. Right then, I'm going to go. So thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget you should have been hitting that like and button and sharing away, and perhaps even contributing to subscription. But the good thing is, most of you are probably subscribed any case, because if you weren't, you should be. And if you know, why not? Because I'm over 30, so I have no hate monster. Don't even know where my entitlement is either, which I'm apparently on. Yeah. Thanks for seeing you all, and as always, well, as usual, shall we just say, well, I don't know, to the next one?